Down on the Farm. I'm your host, Larry Marble. Thanks so much for joining us today on one of our 14 affiliate stations. We're brought to you proudly each and every day by D&D Farm and Ranch. That's ddtexasoutfitters.com. Neighbor, we need to take a look at corn, beans, and wheat, courtesy of John Tuggle and Company Corpus. After trading higher for a brief time in the wee hours day before yesterday, corn futures sold off during yesterday's trading session, ending 6 to 8 bushels lower for the day. While temperatures are still expected to climb to much above normal levels across much of the southern plains and western corn belt this next week, the National Weather Service is newly releasing a 30-day outlook calling for normal to below normal temperatures and normal to above normal rainfall for the majority of the corn belt. Russia attacked Ukraine's ports on the Black Sea again for a third straight night. But in yesterday's grain market, weather trumps most of the other factors. New export sales reported yesterday morning for the period July 7 through 13 were about as expected for corn, 28.7 million bushels, and soybeans, 32.7 million bushels. But export milo sales were impressive. For the current crop year that expires in about 40 days, new milo sales were 9.4 million bushels, and for the crop year 23-24, another 16.3 million bushels. The U.S. now has on the books unshipped 34.9 million bushels of milo for shipment by August the 31st and around 30 million bushels for shipment sometime September 1 and forward. And I might mention a lot of that is to the Communist Chinese. Corpus Christi's public elevator in ADM is open for milo trucks 24/7. The Andersons, Houston, are open for milo trucks 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and now talking corn. Timco Houston is open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., again, 7 days a week. Neighbor, there's your grain report, courtesy of John Tuggle and Company Corpus. Tell him thank you. Do so at 361-852-5207. We're on the line with Jody Fry, producers in Cargyle, San Angelo, talking cattle sale on Thursday. Jody, how did it turn out?
Turned out real good. Had some good quality cattle today, and they sold very well. 960 head was the total today. Had a high percentage of those good quality kids and yearlings, calling those $3 to $5 higher. Most advanced, I would say, on those choice offering of heavyweight steers we had today. Very strong demand continues for those fleshy and high-yielding slaughter cows and bulls. Those selling fully steady today. A couple of groups of fall Kevin, young black cows, they sold higher. Other replacement cows sold about steady. Better quality steers, 400 to 600 pounds, from 190 all the way up to a high of 275, mostly 210 to 240. 600 to 800 pound steers from 165 up to a high of near 255. I actually had one set of choice 6-weight steers that brought 267, but mostly in that weight range from 185 to 225. Heifers, 175 to 240, mostly 195 to 225 in that 400 to 600 pound category. Slaughter cows, average to high yielding from 80 to 98. Several groups of the highest yielding slaughter cows from 99 all the way to a high of 111. Thin or very low yielding cows, just a few of those from 55 to 77. Slaughter bulls, average to high yielding from 91 to 117. Still several of those highest yielding slaughter bulls from 118 all the way to a high of 134. Bred cows and 2-year-olds, young to solid mouth, medium to heavy bred cows from 1,100 to 1,650. Did have one set of young heavy bred blacks, Kevin in the fall, for $1,750 per head. Cow calf pairs, couple of small packages of those from 1,200 to a high of 1,600.
Jody, what do you say for next week's sales?
More of the same, I believe, on the sheep and goats, around 6,600 2 weeks in a row. I look for that to continue. The hot weather's forecast all the way through. So more of the same on Tuesday. And Thursday, look for the cattle numbers probably to drop back a little bit after this week's sale. I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 750 to 800 head.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Jody Fry.
You bet. Office number's 325-653-3371. My mobile phone's 325-234-7890.
Jody, I appreciate the visit. Always a good one. Thank you.
I enjoyed it too, Larry.
Bye-bye. Neighbor, it's time to take a look at our meat moves from yesterday. We'll begin with the National Pork Carcass Cutout Value for the Thursday afternoon report. 249 stronger at 115.10. The butts and the bellies lead the way. That reminds me, I need to go down and buy a pork butt to put put in the old smoker for this weekend. USDA estimated federal slaughter 1.846 million head for the week through Thursday. That trails last week by 1,000, but it's up 31,000 head from the same week last year. As we move toward the cattle side and the beef side of the meat equation, we saw box beef weaken by another $1.03 and $1.25, respectively, in the choice and the select. That loosened the choice select spread back to $27.86. USDA says federal slaughter through the week through Thursday, 495,000 head. That's lagging last week's pace by about 9K, but it's about 1K or 1,000 above the same week last year. As we look toward export sales that are released on Thursday, showed the fourth largest sale total this year, 20,943 metric tons. That more than doubled last week's total. South Korea, our best buyer, Mexico next. China managed to buy about 3,300 metric tons. As we look toward the fat side of the equation, Neighbor, looks like only a few bids were picked up at 177 to 188 on 3 Texas lots, but no sales on the ask of 180 to 183. Neighbor, that's it for your meat movement. We're on the line with Ken Jordan. Jordan Cattle Auction had a big sale in San Saba today. How did it go?
You bet, Larry. We ended up having right at 1,650 head of cattle today. I thought overall the market continued to be very strong this week again, especially after we left the 4th of July holidays. I thought today the stocker steers were probably 5 to 10 higher. We had several guys down here already buying some of their wheat field cattle, kind of getting them conditioned, I guess, ready and everything, being optimistic about wheat being available for them this fall. So that was very, very good. Had a group of 2 steers. They weighed 513 at $276 a pound, $1,400 right at $16 on those. I thought the stocker heifers, they were probably 6 to 10 higher. The feeder steers, they were probably $2 to $5 higher today. I had some really good calves, weighed 849 pounds off their mama, brought 220 a pound, right at $1,868 on those. And another group, these are mates to them. There was 4 more steers weighed 953 pounds, and they brought 205, 1,900, right at $54 on those cattle, Larry. The feeder heifers were probably 2 to 3 higher. I had a group of 6 heifers, really outstanding, weighed 785 at 209, a little over $1,640 on those. Packer cows were probably steady to maybe $2 higher. Packer bulls were 2 to 3 higher. Although pairs and bred cows overall were steady with a limited test. So we did have some pairs bring up to $2,500 a day. So another good week, Larry.
Good. Well, the week's not over. Got a special Saturday, right?
You bet. Got over 3,000 head consigned for our Saturday female replacement sale. We got probably close to 500 pair consigned, 1,300 bred cows, around 750 so bred heifers, and around 350 open heifers. A lot of quality stock. I think we've got a lot of them are shaped up. Then we've got about 1,000 more to do on Friday, and then we'll have everything up and ready to go. Running order will probably be up on the website around 6 o'clock on Friday evening, and then, Larry, we'll start the sale at 10 o'clock. And if you can't make it, we do have it live on the internet, Cattle USA. Go to our website, and you can find all the information there. And our website, as always, is jordan@cattle.com, Larry.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you come Monday night.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Neighbor, I want to remind you about my friends Stephen and Terry Lehman at Lehman Pipe and Cattle. They've got used sucker rod in 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and 1 inch, and they've got used oil field pipe, the #1 structural, straight, no holes, splits, or heavy scale, 2 3/8, 2 7/8, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6 5/8, 7 5/8, 10 3/4 in 16 and 24 inch diameters. Also, from time to time, they see some #2 pipe available at a reduced price. Truckload discounts and delivery also available. They also have cattle guards. They make them from 10-foot wide to 30-foot wide, depending on the customer's needs and wants, with or without wings or cross gates. Also, the heavy-duty concrete beams to set them on. Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. Email them at lehmanpipe@gmail.com or call Stephen at 979-966-3447 or Terry at 979-820-8155. That's Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. We're on the line with Klein Spear, Southwest Livestock Exchange Uvalde. Klein, how'd the cattle sell this week?
Well, we had just under 450 head, Larry. Pretty good market there. Those Packer cows and bulls I thought were another maybe $2 better. We had some really good cows there. And calves and yearlings sold fully steady there. Those choice steers, $1.80 to $2.40, and those lightweights, $2.10 to $2.95. Choice heifers, $1.65 to $2.30, and those lightweights, $1.90 to $2.80. Crossbred steers $1.60 to $2.25. The lightweights $1.85 to $2.60. Crossbred heifers $1.45 to $2. And those lightweights $1.70 to $2.60. Stocker cows day $90 to $1.40. Packer bulls $102 to $1.23. Breaker cows $89 to $108. Those cutters and canners $70 to $84. And those Shelly cows were $35 to $55. I had a few pairs today, $1,250 to $1,700. Just a handful of plain pairs, kind of $750 to $900 on them. And the bred cows $1,000 to $1,450. So still an awful good market for the middle of summer.
Good deal. What do you anticipate next week, Klein?
You know, I think we'll have a little lighter on sheep and goats, kind of that 500 head range. And I think this cattle deal is going to probably stay in that kind of 300 to 400 head range, just kind of as the weather permits. If it stays like it is, we'll start picking up. If not, I think kind of stick in that same range.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you there in Uvalde.
Call us the office, 830-278-5621, or my cell phone, 830-591-3241.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye. Hey, neighbor, I'm Larry Marble. We're here with Aaron of Homestead and Ranch Real Estate. They specialize in Texas farms and ranches and custom homes on acreage. Why should someone trust y'all with their farm and ranch investment, Aaron?
Good question, Larry. We fully believe that trust starts with truth and ends with truth every single day. We live by this code.
So tell me how that works when you're helping farm and ranch clients.
We understand that we're helping our clients with one of the most important transactions they'll ever make. We learn everything there is to know about the property, get professional photos and videos, create multiple marketing packages to send out, and we make sure all brokers and buyers know your ranch is available.
How can they reach you, Aaron?
Well, they can call me directly at 214-985-9862, and I give you my word, I'll call you back. Or you can visit us at www.homesteadandranch.com.
We're on the line with Leroy Kruger. Leroy, you're thinking about bird season and shredding ground for hunters, it sounds like.
Yeah, we're mowing around some of these tanks and stuff, and just kind of weeds and grass got so tall back there when it did rain, you know, and
Right.
you hadn't seen it in so many years, you didn't want to have to mow it down, so you kind of been marking a little territory around here, kind of getting things fixed up.
Right. Well, is there enough water out there in the tank for the doves?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good, really. The tank ponds are all really full, and we're in pretty good shape there. And sunflower crop is just phenomenal, you know.
That's great. You cut that craw open, and they'll have all those little black sunflowers in there. They do real good. How are the bulls doing?
Oh, not too bad. We've sold a few this week and had some calls today on a boy looking for a main bull and happened to have one of them. So it just kind of plugging along, you know, filling a hole here and there.
Yep. Well, go ahead, Leroy. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We just got some nice Charolais bulls here, some whole Herefords and horns, some really good red Angus bulls, and a couple of Angus bulls, and a mane or two in amongst the bunch. So we just got a little variety.
Good. Sounds like you got something for everybody. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
They catch me on the mobile at 830-570-0660.
You know, the only thing I know that the dadgum dove like better than sunflowers is that seed that the dang bull nettle puts up. But I hate having to deal with that bull nettle.
Yeah, they also like a really good Milo field.
Yeah. Well, I can stand the Milo field, but my horses never did like running through that bull nettle.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
We'll talk to you later.
Have a great one.
Wholesale Steel, family owned and operated since 1976. Has heavy-duty panels, the first and only panels on the market with a lifetime warranty against damage from your animals. Wholesale Steel with 2 locations to serve you in San Antonio and Hearn. Financing available, and we wholesale to the public. Visit our website at wholesalesteelsa.com or call 210-624-2000 for Wholesale Steel.
We are on the line with Rodney Butler, Beeville Livestock. It is Thursday night, about 8:30. Rodney, what's Friday looking like?
We're tagging on a little over 300. Just a handful of cows. I think there's about 60 cows up there, Piker cows. Got a handful of palpates, no pairs, and a couple of bulls. But got some good calves up there. Got several pens of black heifers and steers, and they are steered, and they're weighing probably 500 to 700 pounds, those good ones. So we're going to have several pens of those tomorrow. So we're going to look for a good sale tomorrow, sir, probably around 350, 400.
Good deal. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Rodney.
Yeah, if I can help market your cattle, call me at 361-358-1727. Call me on my mobile, 645-5002.
Thank you, son.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. Shotgun look at the grains. Milo to Corpus, 11.45. Corn to Corpus, 5.17 1/4. Wheat to Houston, 8.79 3/4. Beans to Houston, 13.34. 2,555 bale of Texas cotton at 79.43. I'm Larry Marble. You're my neighbor. Good day.